Hello everyone, this video is the first of a 6-tank series where I'll be creating vampire crab ecosystem paludariums using as many different backgrounds and materials as possible. For the first video in this series, we're starting with the coconut fiber background in a 50 by 30 by 40 centimeter tank. This is the coconut fiber that I'm using, and I simply cut it to size and siliconed it to the back of the tank. And now that the background is in, I'm going to start building up the foundation for this ecosystem using some red lava rock. This stuff is pretty cheap, easy to work with, and has a really great texture. This is one of my favorite parts of any build, and it's really important to get right as well, so make sure you take your time with it. This time around, I'm not going to be using any glass protection because the rock that I'm using is quite light and doesn't have any sharp edges. However, if you are using some heavier stuff, you might want to consider this. Since vampire crabs spend most of their time on land, only a small water section is required, and the general rule is 80% land and 20% water, which is generally what you should be aiming for, and I'll be trying to do the same here as well. I'm also going to be trying really hard to make a lot of different caves and hides in this water section, as I want to give the future baby crabs a lot of places to hide from their cannibalistic parents. I don't normally bother gluing rocks in place, but this particular rock here is going to be a load-bearing rock, and later on in the video you'll see what I mean. So I did have to add a few drops of super glue here, just to make sure it would stay in place. Now that I'm happy with the rock structure, I'm going to be adding some clay balls, also known as leca, in behind the wall to form the base of the land section. I almost always use leca because it's a super cheap, super light and easy to come by material. But if you can't find it or you'd rather use something else, you can use a coarse gravel or some kind of lava rock. They all serve the same purpose. Remember when you're building up your substrate base to build it a little bit higher than you expect, because you don't want your water and soil layers to be mixing when your project is finished. If they do, you generally have to restart from scratch, otherwise you're going to have some really big long-term problems. I'll show you what I mean later in the video. On top of this layer, I would normally use weed matting, but this time around I'm going to be experimenting with using more of the coconut fiber instead. So I'm just going to trim it into place and fit it to the layout as best I can. This is the first time I've used this method, but I was really surprised how well it worked and how good it looks. So now's the time to add the soil to the tank, and I'm just using plain old organic gardening soil as usual. There's no point using any kind of fancy soil mix for vampire crabs. It's a total waste of time, and they prefer it simple, so you might as well save some money where you can. As I added the soil layer to the tank, I'm also adding a few more stones to make sure the soil doesn't spill over into the water section. This is pretty straightforward. As I add soil, I just add a few stones and work my way along the tank. So that's the first batch of soil in. It's about 5 centimeters deep or about 2 inches, which is a great start. I'll add a little bit more here and there as I start to add some plants and other things to the tank. It took me quite a while to find the perfect position for this piece of wood that I'm going to be using. And it's really important to make sure that you balance hides, climbs, planting space, and lighting. Lighting is a super important part of any ecosystem build, and if you block too much light from the lower sections of the tank, you'll have a lot of issues with plants not performing well and moss dying off. Some shaded areas are okay and normal, but this is something you really need to pay attention to, because it might annoy you later on when you can't change the core of your hardscape. This was the first concept that I was playing around with, but before I locked it in, I wanted to try something else, so I ripped out the wood and tried a ficus heavy design instead, but I just couldn't get it to look how I had imagined it in my head, and it just seemed to look way too flat. So I ripped it all out again and went back to the first idea. I think you'll all agree that going back to the original plan was the right choice. I'll use these ficus plants for another build at some other time. Since I like to try and keep things as organic as possible, I tried to attach the bromeliads using cotton instead of glue, but I started to get super frustrated battling with it, so I ended up caving and using a couple of drops of super glue. I'd been working on this tank for most of the day and I really wasn't in the mood to fight with the string, but I think it's turned out pretty good so far. The next day I went and collected a ton of bark from under an old oak tree that is currently dropping branches at the moment, and scattered them around the base of the tank to create hides, hollows, tunnels, and all sorts of details the crabs will hide in. Environmental complexity is really important for keeping vampire crabs happy, as it gives them the option to escape and evade battles, which they always seem to end up in, so line of sight barriers like this are really important for their longevity, otherwise they'll fight each other to death quite often. This is my plant selection for this tank, but I'm probably only going to use a couple of these anyway. I think adding too many plants is going to overcrowd things, especially when they're going to need to get bigger anyway. After getting the plants in, I always like to add a ton of hypnomoss, and vampire crabs love to eat this stuff, so it's a must to have in any tank, and it pretty much ties in the whole ecosystem together. It makes everything feel way more alive. I also found the perfect detail stick to slip into place on the left side of the tank as well. The next day I filled the tank with water, fished out any of the odd clay balls that floated up from the cave network. This is a pretty normal part of the process, so don't be worried if you see the odd one float forward. But if you do see a lot, you might need to patch up your rock wall somewhere. If you don't, the crabs will get in there and pull out the clay balls to make a little cave, and this can be quite annoying. Things kind of went downhill from here as I discovered the back left-hand corner of the tank was leaking, and leaking pretty fast. I did check the seal prior to building in the tank and it didn't leak at all, so whilst I was moving the tank around with half of the stuff in it, I must have popped the seal somehow. And since there's no way in hell I was starting this project again, I just drained the water out, waited a day for everything to dry, then pushed a heap of silicone into the joint, and thankfully that done the trick and the leak was solved. Now I can finally add some small grain gravel to the foreground, then move the tank into its final position. I left it sit in place for a week and monitored for any more leaks, but so far so good. During that time, I also started rating the tank next door for even more detail and some extra plants. This tank has been running for 528 days now, and it's still going flawlessly, though I have been stealing plants and mosses out of it for at least a couple of months now, so it's looking a little bit more bare than usual. It's currently home to my colony of Geosisama denula vampire crabs, which I'll be moving over to this new tank shortly. I used to have a really big colony in this tank, somewhere between 50 and 100. They breed very fast, and between the adults and the babies, there was definitely a lot of crabs in there. But over time, I've slowly been selling them off, getting them down to a number that's more suitable for a tank this size, or even way smaller, which is why I'm going to move the colony to the new tank. Once everyone is in their new home, I'll be stripping down this tank for a brand new project, so keep an eye out for that in the coming months as well, though it'll more than likely be sometime during the middle of the year. While I break this tank down, I'm going to be moving some bits and pieces over to the new tank to give the ecosystem a nice little ecological boost, starting with some small springtail covered sticks, and a few extra bits of wood covered in moss. I'm also going to move over some of the aquatic plants, like this nice big piece of Anubias, some Java fern, and some frogbit and salvinia. These aquatic plants will help keep the water section free from nutrients and eliminate the need for a filter or a pump. Unless you really want to, a filter isn't required for vampire crabs, so long as you add some aquatic plants to take its place. Here's what the old tank looks like after stripping it down to its foundations. You'll see that there's still a few crabs left to catch as well, and quite a few of them are only recently born, just like this little guy here. Here's the small little group that I'm going to be adding to the new tank, which is mostly females. The rest I'll take over to my local fish store in exchange for some hardscape materials. In total, there was about 15 adults and 20 or so new generation babies. I put about half of those into this tank, and the rest will go into a small container grow out tank, just to make sure that they don't all get eaten from the adults' cannibalism. If you aren't already subscribed, make sure you do, because this is the first of a 6-tank series where I'll be building 6 new tanks with the same exact dimensions, using a completely different set of core materials, all of which will be stocked with the different Geosisama species. Plus, you'll probably want to see how this tank grows in as well.